What is up, everybody? I'm back. I had a little short video showing what I had gotten. You may or may not have seen it, but I was able to pick up a 58 Chevy, and we'll be going after a 56 whenever we get a break in the weather. It's been nonstop kind of raining, and it's a muddy mess up there, so I'm gonna do what I can today. It poured rain this morning. It's clearing up for the rest of the day. I'm gonna try and pressure wash this thing. It's got a bunch of crap in the back of it, and just do what we can today because the next few days I'm not sure what I'll be available to do. So there she is. It is a 58. It has been sitting for 36 years. 95, or August of 95, so 36 years. I haven't really even taken this thing in too much. It's got a little story behind it as far as getting it. I had to go back twice. I'll tell you the story about it all at the end of this video, but right now I just want to show you kind of the overall condition before I start cleaning on it. Surprised it has all the dishes on the wheels there. No emblems. It does still have the inline 6-enter. It is not locked up. The crank does turn, or did. Ooh, ooh, there it went. So it may need a little bit of help, but as usual, we'll try and kind of get this running if possible. You can see condenser unplugged. Let's just see what that oil looks like. Ooh. Smells very gassy. Ow. Just hit my head. Yeah. A lot of gas smell to it. But yeah, I have no clue. It's missing the radiator. Anything about it, or how it's supposed to run, or if it ran before they parked it. Not really sure. The back of it's gonna be kind of a pain because it's just full of roof tin, I think, but a bunch of dirt crap under it, so it's gonna take a minute to get out of there. There was trees and everything, vines up around it, trying to get it. Of course, your usual spiders, mud daubers, mice nest. I got in the glove box yesterday and nothing good in there. Does have a sweet speaker set up in here. Sound expander. With air supply greatest hits. Lost in Love. It's like What About Love is what it sounds like to me is. Anyways, here's some registration papers that I'm not sure. Can't really make out. Shows 93. The title was 83. All around, not too awful bad a shape. Has the usual rust. Like I said, not horrible. It's not all rusted out on the window seam there like they get. That's the worst of the places that you don't want to find it. Just because of the skill level, I guess, of the metal work and everything to fix it. Oh, hold on a second. Let me put you down. Alright, the door hinge on this thing's gotten worse. It was, where is it? It's in there. This bottom one is pulled out, so yeah. Paint is a 705, whatever that means. 114 wheelbase. 5,000 pound gross vehicle. Nice. Like I said, I have not even barely looked at this thing. I kind of went in the field. The situation was a little sketchy. Kind of just made a deal and rolled with it. So, seat's there. It's, ooh, pretty sure that was a quarter. I'll have to get that. It's there. Cleaned up, and throw a seat cover on it would be doable, I think, to get you by. Looks like a bunch of rags and junk. Everything's sitting on the gas tank back here. That's nasty. Oh, this is sweet. That looks, is that something factory? I think I see a tag over here on this other side. I'm not sure if that's something they offered or not. Model size Allen. Huh. That's pretty cool. Seems handy. It looks like it was a map. Smokey the Bear. Yeah. Oh. Alright, well. Trying not to kill myself climbing on off this trailer, but right now I do like to kind of pressure wash them on the trailer, so it makes it a little easier to get up underneath and spray them down a little bit. Clean some of that stuff off. It's been sitting for years. So here's your before. And I'm gonna jump in here with a mouse sucker. Kind of get all that out of there, and then start with the pressure washer. Pressure wash and clean the best I can for a go round. And then I'll bring you guys back in to see the before and after, or if I find anything else interesting with it. That'll kind of be the first part of what I do. It's kind of my routine with them. I like getting them and cleaning them up first. A lot of other people, they'll just dive into working on them, things like that. But I enjoy the cleaning part, just seeing the before and after of them. So and when I'm working on it, I don't, all the cobwebs and everything else getting all over you. So I like to get that out of the way, go ahead and give them that eviction notice, and then dive into seeing if it'll run or whatever. And that's just to see what these old things can still do and bring them back to life. I'd say this truck's probably going to be looking at a V8 swap with somebody. I'm not sure that I'm going to keep it and do any of that. So it may just go up for sale. Like I said, got it, assessing the situation, getting it cleaned up. That way somebody else knows what they're getting into a little bit better. So yeah, I'm gonna dive in. See you in a minute. Alright, got pretty much everything pulled out of here. It was behind the seat, swept it up a little bit. Pretty much got trash can full. I did find I was kind of hoping it was a stick of dynamite at the time, but it's a flare. And an old Marvel Mystery can. And a Firestone ice scraper. There's no date on it. We got this Jocko. We got that. That's new. Oh yeah. Anyways, figured I'd show you the layers of crap back here. You know, it had trees growing up through it and everything that had to be cut out. I'm not looking forward to this part. It's gonna make a mess. Ooh, there's that quarter I talked about dropping. I'll take that. What we got? Do the zoomy zooms. 87, 81. It's 87. So, all right. I guess let's make a mess. Alright, I think my time lapse didn't work for me. Tried sweeping all that up real quick before it gets wet. Even heavier, thicker, harder to get out. Filled up that trash can once, all this. All this, like I said, roofing tin and stuff came out of it. Kind of vacuumed that out a little bit, blew it out, and now this was the whole point of I wanted to see how the floor was. And not bad, honestly. I mean, obviously you got rot over there, but for the most part it's there. Soft in some areas, but now that all that's out of there, you can see the whole point of cleaning this is to assess where you're at and what you got going on. So we're getting in, dive into some soap. Forgot to clean that battery tray out there. Not sudding up very much. I got soap in there, but I mixed it with some CLR, so maybe that's why. Alright, let's pressure wash this baby and see what happens. Or you want me to turn on a little music and pull some pudding fab shop on you? Bow, bow, chicka, bow. Alright, let me put you on a time lapse. Let's go. Alright, after hours of pressure washing, it's like I seem to forget how disgusting mud filled. It took hours cleaning my driveway last time. Oh, alright, so here we are. First round of pressure washing. You could definitely use like a Scotch-Brite pad going around it, washing it again. This is really just spraying it, straight pressure wash. Got the floor pretty good. Said it's all there, except for some rotted wood to be expected, but I've seen them completely gone before too. See if I can. Ooh. I said this thing is, the floors are pretty dang solid. A couple little holes over there, and then this corner, but that's nothing. I mean, you could run it as is. Without having to do any major patchwork before you drove it. I think it came around pretty good. You got the slop in the fenders here with some fiberglass and Bondo, it looks like to me. Kind of scrape that stuff off and patina the color a little bit and it'll be fine. But yeah, that's kind of the first stages of getting it cleaned up, getting everything out of there, washing it off a little bit, and we'll keep going. Oh, now it wants to stick. Well, tried to get the hood back open for you, but it's wanting to stick now. Before it would not shut at all. I mean, it would shut, it just come right back up. So, all right, there she is. Like I said, I might try and mess with, see if it'll run, things like that. I know the brakes are gone, but we'll see. Yeah. All right, let's get comfortable for a minute. Come on now. These casters ain't so good. Whew. Anyways, jumping on here real quick to tell you the kind of the story on the 58 that I got out. As you just saw in the video, I was talking about it being a little sketchy, things like that. And just to update you on a little bit of the shop and what's going on, things like that. So, to not drag out the story, basically it was getting there. It was really muddy. I had to wait down by a gate. It was like an old farmhouse, and went up and I saw two guys pulling out a 57 Chevy, which you saw in the video of the coupe. And I thought it was just people he knew were trying to help him get it all out, and they were trying to get rid of all these old vehicles. A couple of them, I guess, were already sold. And I looked at the truck. I was kind of on the edge about it. I think it was definitely worth saving, and that's what I want to do, is try and save them and get them into the right hands. And that's kind of, you know, what I want to say about the shop update some too, is that I can't do all these builds. I can't build them all and everything, even though I'd love to and do some things. Basically, try and save them, clean them up, maybe see if I can get them running, things like that. Which brings me to, I did sell the 66 panel truck because I didn't see myself being able to finish it or anytime soon at all. And I wasn't in love with it. I did like it. But at the end of the day, if I'm gonna do another big build, it's gonna need to be something I love, and I want to do a big four-door car. Um, is what I like the big old four-door cars. So that's probably going to be my next big build. But like said, in the meantime, I love the search. I love making deals and trying to pull these vehicles out of wherever and kind of bring them back to life a little bit and get them in the hands of somebody who will take them further. Um, so back to the story, which we ended up making the deal, and so I was going down to my truck and trailer to attempt to get back there. I had to cut a few trees down, as you probably saw, kind of move some brush out of the way to get to it. And I wanted to get in front of it to obviously load in the front. And I asked the guy, like, he was just standing there, and I said, "Hey, you got the title and key for it, right? Or do you care to grab it?" And I didn't realize he was gone. Like he had taken something, so I kind of just stood there, and then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try and hook to it. So I went up, and it was super narrow between a barn, a fence, and a tree that had been cut down, and the mud was just too slick. Four-wheel drive, all that, kind of got going, made it up right between the gates to get up in there, and got stuck basically. And at that point there was nowhere to turn to kind of whip anything around. So of course then my trailer was kicked to the side. um, and that's when the other two that were there, they had a Jeep, and they actually went around the side to like the fencing, and we ran a chain through it to my trailer, and he pulled it straight for me so I could slowly back out. So luckily I got unstuck, but like I said, it was kind of sketchy, especially, you know, with him taking whatever, and then you're just kind of in this old, yeah. So it was a little unsettling, and you weren't sure, what's going to happen or whatever. And the guy asked me if I knew him, and I was like, no, I thought you did. And he's like, no, we actually bought that 57. Um, so it was a little awkward. And then at that point, I just thought, well, I'm not getting it. Not with the condition that he's in, things like that. So they still had to get theirs out, and they had a tow truck coming. Of course, it couldn't get back there, so I helped them kind of push it and guide it while they were dragging it through the mud, bringing it down closer to where the tow truck could get it. Now the truck was further up on back and whatnot, so but at the end, he did kind of come around a little bit, and I just said, look, I'll have to come back, and I didn't know how that was going to work. I said in the next couple days, give it some time to dry out. Luckily it did, and I got a hold of him and went back up there, and sure enough was able to get it. I ended up having to actually back in and pull it backwards and just load it from the back, but it was kind of full of crap and mud and everything to where it was weighted down enough to not make the trailer sway or anything like that. So I pretty much just pulled it all the way down to the opening, and then loaded it on, and that worked out. Now I'm supposed to go back for a 56 that's also buried up further around back. But I have, tried calling a couple times a day the past probably 4 or 5 days, and they won't answer the phone. So not so sure that's going to work out. Nevertheless, the 58, like I said, I got it cleaned up, all that good stuff, and going to be trying to sell it now. So with that being said, that's kind of the update on all that and kind of the story behind it. It was just kind of an iffy thing, and things like that, but did get it, and we'll see about the 56 if that comes together at any point in time. and if it does, you'll be seeing it. So that'll be that. And another kind of shop update thing here is I did find me another LS, if you've been following, because that one crapped the bed on me. That reminds me, if you go back and watch some videos if you're new to this channel, or to see what I'm talking about on some of this stuff, things like that, like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, I'm bad for it too. I watch videos, I don't subscribe. Now, if it's a channel that I do get into and I watch multiple videos and like it or whatever, I definitely make a point to subscribe. But, all that's helpful. Just slowly trying to grow the channel. I struggle with the technology stuff kind of sometimes on this stuff, with editing and figuring all that stuff out. And I'm a one-man show with a lot of different things, so um, sometimes my energy just trying to figure all that stuff out is like whatever. That's why most of my stuff is just kind of a raw video. I'm going through it because I've got to get the work done also, and make progress. So I apologize that some of the videos aren't the greatest or as cool as a lot of them and things like that, but just trying to go through, show you some stuff, and see the cool things that I find or build, things like that. So, and trying to think of, I'm just trying to one foot in front of the other, keep pushing forward on some of the stuff, keep trying to document some things, and hopefully the rat truck, once I get this one tore down and deleted and all that stuff, can go back in there, and then I'll kind of be back at the point I was before that engine crapped out, and I'll need to take it to the exhaust shop, get an alignment, and then be able to finish the tune on it to dial it in, and should be on the road again. So anyways, wanted to give you a quick update on that and share that little story, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.